Hey guys, what's up? This is Keefe Horgan, and I've got my guy Jake Fellows here with me for episode 3 of the Footy's Philosophers podcast. Um, so big week of games this week. There was Premier League action over the weekend, and then the FA Cup games midweek. Um, this weekend, I think it's going to be very telling for how the Premier League ends up getting decided. Biggest game we had City beating Liverpool 4-1.
Yep.
So they're 10 points clear now, and they have a game in hand on United in second and Liverpool in fourth also, but they're 10 points off Liverpool in fourth. So um, you think that's that for Klopp's chance to retaining the title?
Yeah, I think they're done for with the title. I think I don't think they're looking like they're champion selves at all. Honestly, Man City's just they're too good right now, and I don't know. I don't even think Liverpool's. I think we look better than Liverpool right now.
Yeah, honestly, I agree with you. They don't look like a team that just won the Premier League, and not even just won it, but ran away with it. Like in the
Yeah,
fashion that they won it last season, no one was even close to them. And to be fair, they've had injuries, but I I think that we thought this Liverpool team was a lot stronger than they actually were coming into the
yeah,
season. Because you see, like City, obviously running away with the league right now. It looks like, but
yeah,
you see just the depth that they have. Like if their center backs go down, they have Laporte. He's out most of the time, and
yeah,
he's arguably the second best defender in the league, bar
yeah,
Virgil van Dijk. So when he's out, they have Ruben Diaz and John Stones come in. They have Fernandinho who could do a shift there. Kyle Walker could even play in the middle of defense if they need. Like
yeah,
the way that injuries have just derailed Liverpool's season this year, to me, that shouldn't be happening to a team that is fighting to win the league, and also they want to win Europe too. Like that's what their goals were, and injuries happen no matter what season it is, COVID or not. Like,
yeah.
um, but yeah,
They don't have the depth that they should definitely right now. It's a good point.
yeah. I mean, that could be on the board not backing him or whatnot, but they went out and bought two center backs. So I'm at the end of January.
Yeah,
Uh, Not necessarily the most proven center backs, but I heard that Klopp was mad because he wanted to go and land Koulibaly in January um, because of the injuries that they had, and they weren't. The board wasn't
supporting. Yeah,
gonna let him do that. I think it would have cost like 100 million or something. So
yeah.
that's
That's
just
kind
way
of a
too
lot.
much.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah,
Even though
and
them two at the back would be pretty insane.
oh, that would be the best defense in
Yeah, that's pretty
Europe, I
scary.
think. Yeah, but did you see what Roy Keane was saying over the weekend about Klopp?
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah, he's just like, that's not that's not how a team defending the Premier League title should be. Like,
Yeah,
it sounds like excuses, and honestly, like it's a bit harsh on Klopp. But the only thing that isn't really an excuse is the injuries, and he doesn't have any control over that. But he doesn't have any control over the fixtures and whatnot, like the other things he's bringing up. But everyone's dealing with that. So
yeah.
yeah, I feel like using that to kind of
Yeah, you can't
um,
really use it as an excuse because everyone's going through a lot of injuries.
exactly. Yeah, so that post-match press conference was a different side of Klopp than we've seen before.
Yeah,
Yeah, when he was asked if they thought uh, their title hopes were over, he basically said that's a stupid question. And part of me thinks that the reason he did that might have just been to deflect the attention away from his players. Because after a 4-1 defeat to City, that that's going to be headline news, regardless of the result, really.
Yeah.
Because it's just two of the biggest teams in England. But
Yeah, and I'm sure he's
I
really
think what
frustrated.
he did in the press conference after actually took away some of the attention on how poor his team's performance was and kind of put it more so on like what the hell is Jurgen Klopp going on about?
Yeah.
Yeah, one of the weirder manager press conferences that we've seen recently.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, he's
But
always different than that, but
yeah, but I mean, City they have Aguero and De Bruyne out,
yeah,
and
exactly. Look at that.
Laporte,
Yeah.
like three of their best players, their best defender, midfielder, and attacker, and they're doing really well without them. I mean, Gundogan has
Holy
just
shit, that guy's insane.
I don't know what happened to him. I've
He just
always
yeah.
yeah, I've always rated him. Like even when he was back at Dortmund, I really liked him a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, he
That
is
that
definitely looks incredible.
yeah, that love for him kind of took a hit when he went to the wrong side of Manchester, but
Yeah.
he's a good player.
Yeah, you have to
And
respect him now.
Phil Foden also just playing
Incredible.
amazing this season. Like
Yeah.
last year it was mostly Greenwood getting the plaudits, but
Yeah, Foden this season
Foden's
for sure.
yeah, really taking over from David Silva.
Yeah, oh my God, he looks like such an incredible player.
Yeah,
Like I really hope he plays for England. He's every time he gets the ball, like there's so much space opened up. He creates so much opportunity. He's so good.
yeah. You guys could have like him, Grealish,
Madison, that'd be
Greenwood,
insane. Yeah.
yeah, and then Greenwood. Oh, do you think Calvert-Lewin or Ollie Watkins gets into the Euro squad?
In the squad, yeah, I think in the squad.
Because you think Jadon Sancho is going to get taken, Harry Kane, Jamie Vardy, um, Rashford, Sterling,
Calvert-Lewin definitely will.
and yeah, but that's already five
Yeah, I know.
strikers. I mean, some of them play wide, but that's five
Yeah,
attackers.
usually, yeah, because usually
And
Rashford and Sancho play wide usually.
yeah, but Ollie
I don't.
Watkins, I
Yeah,
like.
yeah,
I
I like
think
Ollie Watkins.
he could bring something to that England team that I don't think any of the other players in that setup really could.
Yeah, but I know I know Southgate. He's just not gonna. I know he won't take Watkins.
Yeah,
He's
he's
too
going to take Mason Mount.
conservative. Yeah, he's conservative. He doesn't like he. It took him forever to bring in Grealish, so he's. I don't see him taking Watkins yet.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Watkins, I see how Southgate was a little scared of bringing Grealish in too early, but
Yeah,
Watkins isn't really so much of like a flair type player because Grealish, sometimes watching him, you'd worry that he might give the ball away.
yeah,
But Watkins, it doesn't really show much of that. I like his work rate is probably one of the best things that I rate about him.
yeah,
And just he can play out wide. He can play through the middle. I think he used to play wide for Brentford, but
yeah.
like he's
Yeah, and also Danny Ings might like. There's a lot of rumor that he's gonna get a call. So
oh yeah, I forgot about that.
yeah, and
Dannings definitely should be in the
yeah,
team.
I agree. I think he should too. He's really proving himself,
Yeah.
and he scored again today, actually.
And Bamford also.
Yeah,
Patrick
yeah.
Bamford.
He looks like. Yeah, we have a lot of good attacking options right now, actually, which is kind of new.
Yeah. You guys haven't really had that. I mean, you've always had Kane and Vardy for the past couple of years, but
Yeah. Now it's
before
like,
that it was
yeah,
Rooney and only really Rooney for a bit
yeah,
by himself. Rooney and Owen for a spell. Um, yeah, but no, you guys definitely have a lot of good attackers coming through. I'm interested to see how Southgate,
me too.
if he can get, because he usually only plays one striker. So
Yeah, and I'm sure he won't change that, honestly.
yeah, I mean, honestly, I could see Kane maybe dropping into a number 10 role because he's just his like he can move the ball so well. I think he leads the league in assists this season, or he's up
Yeah, he has
there.
an
He
insane amount.
was before he went out injured for that spell.
Yeah, he was. I remember he had a huge amount of assists. Like he was getting a goal and assist every game.
Yeah, him and Son were on an unbelievable hot streak.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. And
Yeah,
now Grealish pretty much has his place in the England team. Like I'm sure he's gonna stay there and play for the Euros. He'll start, and I'm wondering what's gonna happen with Foden now because he's playing so well.
yeah,
But he's a defensive manager too. He usually likes four at the back and two defensive or five and a defensive. He doesn't he only really likes the front three and maybe one attacking midfielder. So
yeah. Because you figure he's gonna play Henderson probably, and
definitely.
Declan Rice is probably gonna get in the team.
Yeah, I could see it.
Yeah,
And
I
then I
mean,
don't know what he's gonna do, like four at the back, five at the back, three at the back. He kind of changes it up so often.
yeah, I think with a healthy Joe Gomez and Harry Maguire, John Stones, you guys might not need to have that second holding midfielder in the middle, because
Yeah,
up until lately, the England center back's been a real shaky position for them. I mean,
yeah, for sure.
Smalling, Jones, like they
Yeah, no, I
were
definitely hope.
getting called
Yeah,
up regularly.
yeah. Now
Yeah,
we have
yeah,
like Stones, Maguire, even Mings.
yeah. Cody
Like
also,
so.
he's gotten called
Yeah,
up
Cody.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So there's a lot to see what he's gonna do.
yeah. This honestly, depending on how these players develop, obviously, but
Yeah,
this could be like better than that so-called golden generation that England had that didn't end up
yeah,
winning it. But you know what? They kind of have the same problem. It's a lot of players that play the same position,
yeah. It is the
because
problem.
that was the problem with them before, because they were playing a midfield four of
Yeah,
Lampard, Gerrard, Scholes, and Beckham. And
yeah,
Beckham was playing wide right, but then you had Scholes wide left, who the man has asthma, and like, why do you have him out wide? Also, I think Scholes is also, he could dictate a game better than
yeah. If anything, it should have been Lampard out
Gerrard or
wide.
Lampard. Yeah, exactly. Or Gerrard, maybe even if you played like Scholes deeper and Lampard a bit up,
Yeah,
and Gerrard is like a wide left box to box midfielder almost.
yeah. No, but I
Yeah.
think this is our England's best team we ever will have, or we have had ever.
Yeah. You know what was criminal? That Michael Carrick barely got like half the caps that he deserved, because he, I think, should have been picked for that England team way more, even with those players in there, because he was something different to those three midfielders.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Carrick was always really underrated from everyone. I feel like.
yeah, and like I think that's one of the tough things with international squads. You might have a bunch of players that your top players all play the same position, or they're all the same style of players, but I think you definitely need to bring in some of those other players, like for example, like a Michael Carrick, because when that's not working, they just give you something else.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Yeah,
why it's important to have like a lot of forwards in the team right now because Kane is such a target forward. Like
yeah,
it's important to have a fast pace player, maybe like Watkins, because or Vardy, I
mm,
guess. Yeah.
yeah. Um, yeah, and then the other big game over the weekend was United Everton.
Yeah, it's hard to
United
even think
late
about it.
dropped 2 points.
Yeah.
Real frustrating. I mean, the first half, I thought that was maybe one of our best performances.
I know. I thought for sure at halftime we won. Like it wasn't
Yeah,
even a doubt we weren't going to win the game for
because
me. Yeah.
we were just playing so well.
I
Like,
was expecting us to win by another two the next half.
yeah,
And
and
literally 5 minutes in, like I have no idea what the hell happened.
yeah, we came out of the second half asleep.
Yeah, totally. So we conceded what, like two goals in like 8 7 8 minutes?
I think it was less than, I think it might have been five,
Yeah, like that's
but
insane.
Yeah. And honestly, Rashford played well, but there were some instances where I thought he made the wrong decision. Like he tried to maybe dribble where he could have just dinked it to the next player and they could have maybe gotten a shot on goal. Or he, a couple of times, and I feel like this has been happening a little bit recently, he's tried to play like the finesse shot off,
Yeah.
or when it should have been, he should just be going for power, or vice versa. He'll try and go for power when he really just needs to place it. So, but
Yeah.
he's creating good opportunities. So it frustrates me, but as his decision making gets better, and obviously Solskjaer is someone who can definitely work on
Yeah,
that
for
with
sure.
him, then I think that will get better. But
Yeah, he's definitely a huge threat player, but I agree. His decisions are sometimes really, they could be a lot better, more clinical. It's just a small decision that can make all the difference in these plays.
yeah, and that was just a frustrating way to drop
It was
points.
terrible.
Literally the last kick of the game. I
Yeah,
mean,
like, and we had the ball in the corner. We should have kept it there.
mhm,
Somehow it gave it away, gave the freaking foul away. It was just a disaster.
yeah,
Pissed.
and
That was bad.
De Gea was for the Ducore goal. Remember, I think it was it Calvert-Lewin shot, tried to go near post on De Gea and he parried it right into the middle, or was it
For the second
Carlson that
goal,
took the
right?
shot?
Uh,
I th- it might have been the
yeah,
first. Who opened
I
up
know the
this?
exact goal you're talking.
Yeah,
The
but
Corey scored the second for them. I know that.
okay, yeah, then it was that one.
Yeah. Oh no, no,
But
maybe he scored the first.
but he that's goalkeeping 101.
Yeah, no,
You
yeah.
don't parry the ball into the middle of the
Yeah,
box.
that
You
literally was the worst thing he could have done.
exactly. You either push it back out wide where it came from, or you let it go out for a corner. There's
Yeah.
do you remember, I think it was your first varsity soccer game. Do you remember that happened? It was at Valley Stream North. I think it was, who was it? Alden was playing in that, I think. And he made a good save, a really good save, but he parried it right down the throat of the box. And I'm like running back with a attacker who's breaking. So I'm just like, fuck, I go into the goal because I'm not going to beat him to the ball. So, and I almost cleared off the line, but because I was like backpedaling as I went to kick,
I remember this
shitty
now.
grass field.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember. You tripped
I
and it went
tripped.
in, right?
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
I was like yelling at Alden, and
I remember. Yeah, I definitely remember
Berlin
this.
thought I was like going crazy and took me off. He's like, "You can't do that." I'm like,
You're not
I was
allowed to.
just telling him
Nah,
not to put it down the middle of the box.
you're
Like
not allowed to get passionate. It's not allowed.
exactly. Oh, he that was literally the reason he didn't like me.
Yeah,
It
you know,
was so
yeah.
annoying because okay, yeah, we were in high school and I'd be like, "Oh, fuck this, fuck that." I wasn't like like verbally assaulting anyone or anything. Like,
I know.
do you remember the time when I was like, the huge fucking hole in the middle of the field, the midfielder needs to drop back, and he's like, Keefe, you're off, and I like didn't play the rest of the game.
You had like frustration in the game. He'd take you out, not
Yeah,
play you.
and he's like, and he'd ask for like an apology. I'd be like, for what? Like, well, I said, fuck. Oh
Yeah,
no,
it was
like
like
it's
kindergarten.
nothing personal. Like I'm
Yeah,
frustrated during the game, and honestly, what I was trying to do was to communicate that to everyone else so that we could get our shit together. But
I don't think there's ever been a player on the team that's thought he was even a decent coach.
no, I
He's a Lindbrook meme.
yeah, like I don't think any high school soccer coaches are good coaches. None of them have like it's all fucking kick the ball and run. And
Yeah,
like
literally, they don't know the
he
first thing about it.
he played me as a center back for 4 years. after I was like, hey, maybe like try me in midfield as like a holding midfielder. No, we don't play holding midfielders. We play 4-4-2. Okay, fucking Fergie, what is this? The
The team
1990?
captains, Rob and Anthony, were like, dude, Jake, to play Jake center mid, play Jake center. He put me
Yeah.
right back.
And I played on a club team with Rob, and I played striker. So Rob was like, yeah, no, maybe like throw him up top if we're not scoring, because even if I didn't score, like I was big and I could pass the ball, so I could hold it up pretty decently. But like that's honestly more
Yeah.
what I brought to the table as a striker than scoring goals. But
Yeah.
he was like, no, Keefe's tall. He's a center back. I'm like,
Yeah, literally. Like I remember he asked,
and
like, "What do you want to play?" I'm like, "Yeah, I think I'm more of like a smart player, so I need to be in the middle. I don't care if it's
and
deep. I'll play center back." Yeah, you're playing
yeah,
right back.
and it was stupid because it was annoying because other than Antonio, I was the only one that knew how to defend on that team.
Oh my god, it was the same thing every game, and he wouldn't
And
change it.
I know, and I was never a defender. Like growing up, never a defender, always center mid or striker. And then I think at a travel team tournament, like the kid who played center back got hurt. So I was like, yeah, I'll go back there. And like, I'm not an amazing player, but I think the one thing I did have was like, I read the game pretty well compared to especially the kids we played against. But
Yeah,
so like that, I was able to drop in, but if
yeah,
he just
that
played
was
like
very
if you're
frustrating.
tall, you playing defense. Me and Antonio at center back.
Yeah,
I'm like,
literally.
hey, this might work, but we're both really fucking slow. So like I was the speed center back, like that was sweeping and everything. And I was like, I don't know how this is really gonna work. But yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah, that Everton game, McTominay, I thought he won it at the end.
I know, me too.
But yeah. Um then I mean, I guess on the bright side, he did win it for us
Yeah,
midweek
another
against West
goal.
Ham.
Insane.
That's like 6-11, I think I saw in his last 11 games and 3 in his last 3 appearances.
Yeah, no, he scored 3 and 3, right?
Yeah, and he's
Crazy.
got 7 this season, which
That's a
brings
lot.
his
Wow.
total career tally to 14. So he's equaled his career total this season. And he always pops up with a goal when we need one. Like he never scores when it's like a blowout. I feel like every goal he scores, it
Means a
changes
lot. Yeah.
the course of the game. Like it's a deciding factor.
Yeah.
Um
Yeah, that's what he brings
yeah.
to the team for sure.
And yeah, and other than our strikers and Bruno and like well our forwards like Rashford, Martial, Greenwood, whatever, like wingers,
Yeah.
strikers, and Bruno, I don't think anyone else in the squad has as many goals as Scott.
Yeah, he probably has more than some of them.
Yeah, which is weird from uh who everyone really just thinks of as a like brute holding midfielder, like just big body, break things up.
Yeah.
He's a really underrated player, I think.
Yeah. He doesn't even play every game and he has these many goals.
Exactly. And whenever he does play or come on late, he changes the way we're playing. Like he brings energy
Oh,
to
he
the
makes,
team and
yeah, huge difference.
we play with urgency and we can press. Like I think
Yeah.
this summer might be it for Nemanja Matic, unfortunately.
Yeah,
Or at least this year I think will be his last year so
yeah.
getting
He
regular
shouldn't be
first team
getting into the
minutes.
team for me. Yeah.
Yeah, but because
Him and
he's
Fred are too good.
yeah,
Matominay.
and Matic, he's really, really smart. Reads the game super well,
Yeah,
and
for sure.
defensively, probably the most defensively sound midfielder that we have. But he's lost a bit of pace over the years. He was never fast to begin with, and I think just with Fred and McTominay, even if you play both of them in, um, like in, um, fuck, I can't think of in exchange for Matic, like you put them
Yeah.
two and change the way we play, maybe play two up front, like two central and a diamond midfield. I think if you
Right.
put them two in, they just bring like we can actually press. With Nemanja
Yeah.
Matic, we can't press because
It's yeah.
we don't stay as like a cohesive unit when
Yeah,
we
it's literally
get
insane the
caught out.
difference. Yeah, it's a completely different game when them two are in. We're completely on top pressing at all times when those two are in. Their energy for 90 minutes is insane.
Mm,
I always say like it's if they start, well, we will win, and if they don't, well, then we'll see. But they make that much of a difference for me.
yeah. I actually think like um McTominay, I think going forward should be one of the first names on the team sheet without a doubt.
Yeah, for sure.
Fred, I don't know so much about. The thing for me is like, so, well, we're probably going to get rid of Pogba, but if we do get rid of Pogba, there's talk that we'll get Grealish. So, like, that's a like for like player. They're more of a creative
Right.
midfielder, not really box to box. So, I thought over the summer, instead of buying Donny van de Beek, we should have went out and got Thomas Partey from Atletico Madrid. His release clause was like the same amount as we paid for Van de Beek, and he's a really strong defensive midfielder. Reads the game super well
Yeah.
and can actually pass and move the ball a lot better than most holding midfielders do.
Yeah, he's a very quality player.
Yeah, and I thought if we had him, McTominay, and Pogba or Grealish, and then Bruno in a diamond, that would have been one of the best midfields in the league if you gave
Yeah.
it time. And I would still have Fred 100%, but just as
Yeah.
a squad player, like kind of how Ji-Sung Park was for us.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Henderson's started against West Ham. He actually looked really good.
Yeah.
He's looked good every time he's come in. He who was it against Bournemouth when he, or no, not Bournemouth, sorry, Sheffield, when he played during the season. He had a mistake early on, I remember, but then he really bounced back off of that and had a good game throughout. And he's played pretty well since then. And he'll make mistakes occasionally, but he
Yeah.
he usually makes up for them later in the game.
Yeah,
And
and he's super determined to get into the team, clearly.
yeah, and his distribution's a lot better than De Gea's, I think.
Yeah.
Also, he's a lot more aggressive than De Gea, which because you'll see
Which is
him come
good.
out of the net sometimes, and you're like, "What the fuck?" And he'll be like outside the 18, like kind of just going like that, making like sliding at a player, trying to make a stop, and you're like, "What the fuck?" Because if he gets caught out, it's a clear and
Yeah.
on goal. But it scares you, but they've worked out for the most part. I mean,
Yeah. No,
you'll
he's
have
clearly
like
a
your
really good goalie.
yeah. Do you think we should be starting Henderson or De Gea going forward?
At this point, I'm gonna go with Henderson.
Yeah, I think definitely next summer Henderson needs to be told and like reassured that he's our number one.
Yeah.
Because I think he's he played Sheffield, was one of the best keepers in the league last year when he was there on loan. Um,
Yeah.
and now he's coming back, barely getting game time, getting cup games and stuff like that. But that's got to be frustrating for him. And he has so much talent. So, if he's not getting game time here, he can just say, okay, I'm out. Like, I don't, if you guys are just going to not let me get into the team, I'm going to go get minutes somewhere else. People would take him. Chelsea was looking for him before they bought Mendy. I heard rumors about that, I remember. And
Yeah.
if we lose him, I think we're going to regret it so much.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think he'll
Yeah.
be the number. Like, I think he should be number one now, but that's like only because like De Gea is like it's hard to just drop a goalkeeper,
Especially
but
if we want to like
he's
sell
just
him on.
yeah. But
Hard
for
to,
sure, Henderson is going to be our number one, whether it's in a year or not. But he needs to be told that. Yeah, definitely.
yeah. And like especially for the age he's at. Remember when De Gea was young, like especially during the Fergie days with De Gea. De Gea was not a top class goalkeeper early on. He was really shaky. I remember coming out on crosses, especially like every time a ball got put into the box, you're like, oh fuck! It was like he's
Yeah.
just gonna flail out it and just
Yeah, that actually
concede.
did usually happen.
Yeah, but to his credit, he's really improved, become one of the best
Yeah.
of his time. But I think he was never a great distributor of the ball, never amazing on crosses, like I said. The one thing that always really impressed me and everyone else was his just amazing reflexes and shot stopping ability. Like he'd come up with saves that were out of this world. Like you would think that they were on a video game.
Yeah.
But that I feel like hasn't even been happening as much recently.
No,
So
yeah.
yeah, he's still a good keeper. Definitely deserves to be a number one
Yeah.
somewhere.
People
But
definitely give him too much shit. Like
yeah,
he's still a world-class keeper.
yeah, and I think the only reason that it's even a question of, oh, do we get rid of De Gea is because we have Henderson in this position where he's
Yeah,
so young
exactly.
and he's really, really promising. And
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, no, if we didn't have an incredible keeper, like I'd be happy to have De Gea, but we just have a keeper that's that good.
yeah. So yeah, I think this summer might be Dave's last year here.
Yeah, I could see
Um,
it.
yeah. Um, Also in that FA Cup, keeping kind of on track with United, their opponent the weekend, Everton, 5-4, they beat Tottenham in extra time. That was
Yeah.
a crazy game.
I know. And I
Like,
was, yeah, when you think of Tottenham, you think like maybe 1-0 either team, like boring kind of defensive game. Jesus. It
especially
was like
since Mourinho's come in.
exactly. And it was like the most defenseless game ever. Like they couldn't defend.
Yeah. I'm trying to look up the lineups from that. I know Gareth Bale didn't even make the bench, I don't
Yeah, really
think.
weird. I don't understand that.
Um, I think he's done at
I know. He's been
Tottenham,
such
and
a
I think he's
disappointment.
done at any team in
Yeah,
Europe,
yeah,
like
for sure.
in Europe, meaning like Champions League, and
Yeah.
but because he had the world at his feet when he went to Real Madrid, did really well for a couple of years, but just never like he showed flashes
Yeah.
for a long time, but never really settled in and did it consistently.
He also never like learned like full Spanish.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
I don't know.
pathetic.
Yeah, I don't know how you're gonna do that. Like,
Yeah.
or at least like because the thing is maybe if like when like Alex Tellez comes here, Bruno came here, we have a lot of guys that speak Portuguese and like Spanish and stuff
Yeah.
like that, and I think Bruno also spoke Italian, but like for a while you can get by doing that, but then at a point
Yeah.
to kind of gel with the whole squad you need to all be speaking
I
like
know, but you're living there,
or
wouldn't like
yeah
you should want to know the language.
or like not even yeah like obviously speaking Spanish is the best way to talk to his teammates in Real
Yeah.
Madrid. But like even just I feel like he never even really kind of got into the team like even morale wise. Like he was never
Yeah.
really included. Um
Yeah, he seemed out of place.
yeah.
And he's just been so disappointing now. I was so excited when I saw him going back. I was like, that's so cool. He's just been so disappointing. Even when he's played, he's just not looked nearly the same
Yeah.
as when,
Well,
obviously.
you know what? So I think Mourinho's such a fucking bad manager for a player in his position to have. Because Mourinho, when a player's not performing great, Mourinho, instead of trying to like put an arm around their shoulder and lift them up, he'll kind of go at them openly in the
Yeah.
media, make some comments about them, and hope that they see that and go, "Oh, fuck you, Jose! Like, I'll show you," and prove him wrong. Like
Yeah.
you remember with Luke Shaw, he slated Luke Shaw so much in the press, and I was always like, what the fuck did Luke do? He just came back from having his leg snapped in half, and like Mourinho also didn't give him consistent minutes, and it's like, how is someone gonna push for a spot in the team if they're not even getting the chance to
Yeah.
put
Yeah.
together a string of performances.
Mourinho deals with things really bad. He also cannot take a loss. He's the
Yeah,
biggest sore loser I've ever
like
seen.
he deals with them so weirdly.
He
I
can
feel
lose it.
like,
Yeah.
but he is one of the best managers
Yeah,
of our
for sure.
generation. But the thing is, I think he's been in football past his time. Like he was a very
Definitely.
kind of aggressive and like um yeah, like you know how the Premier League was in the 2000s? Like you have
Yeah.
Roy Keane, Vieira, you had Vidic, Carragher, like all these actual like hard men who would go fucking throw out tackles. They weren't like concerned with social media or anything like that. They just went out, played football. That's all they really gave a shit about.
Yeah.
And I think Mourinho works for that type of player. But now I think it's becoming like more the players kind of need you to put an arm around them and say, hey, you're going through a rough spell right now. It's all right. Like,
Yeah.
but he doesn't do that much. He does sometimes, but it's only with like very, very certain, like specific players. So,
Yeah, no, yeah, he's I don't know. And even if he loses a game, like he'd be like, "Yeah, my team, the better team lost." When clear, if you watch, like they clearly weren't the better team in all these times. He says that. I remember when he said it against like Liverpool and they lost 4-1, and like they got completely dominated. He's like, "Yeah, we were the better team," and I
yeah,
was like,
like
"Huh?"
I understand if you lose by a goal or even two, I'll give you if like you concede one really late on because
Yeah,
obviously you're going
sure.
to be more open in the last like 10
Yeah,
minutes because you're going to be having to throw everyone forward to try and get an equalizer.
yeah,
Then you could say, yeah, you know, we kind of dominated for big stretches of this game. The better team lost, but 4-1, no way.
yeah, yeah. Literally.
Yeah, that doesn't happen. Like,
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. I don't think he's a manager for the current how it's soccer's played right now. He just doesn't
yeah,
fit. Like the defensive thing he does at Tottenham, like it's just not. It's not gonna work.
it works when the players all buy into it. But that's the thing. Players, I think now just want to, you know, attack and have a little bit
Yeah,
of freedom when they're playing. They don't want to go, okay, yeah, we'll all get 10 men behind the ball, press, have like 30 to 40% of the possession, but then when they lose it, we break and score a goal and then hold up shop. Players don't want to do that now.
yeah,
It's not fun to
exactly.
watch also. Like I
It's
remember
yeah,
when Mourinho was at United. Some of the games I would just be like, oh fuck, we're playing
yeah,
like, we would play like Southampton. I'd be like, yep, Mourinho's gonna let them have the ball for some
yeah.
reason.
Literally,
Like,
when we played like that for every game, and it was
yeah.
actually hard to watch.
And like we play like that at certain times now under Ole, but it's against like Liverpool,
Yeah,
City, like Chelsea, like these teams that are expected to hold a lot of possession, so we kind of let them have it,
right.
and uh, then we'll press and counterattack because we have really fast players up front.
Yeah,
But with Mourinho, it wasn't even fun. Like we had Lukaku and Ibra up front. Like
I know.
me, Lukaku might get through onto a through ball, but Ibra's not like
I know.
gonna
And
beat a defender one on one. Great player, but that's just not his skill set.
we'd go one down every single game.
Yeah, I mean we still do that to be fair.
True. Yeah, but at least we're in third now. At least we're
Yeah,
looking better.
yeah, um, yeah. And then the rest of the FA Cup fixtures were so yeah, United, Bournemouth, City, Sheffield, Leicester, Everton, Southampton, and Chelsea all advanced. Um,
Yeah.
Burnley ended up losing 2-0, but United drew Leicester in the next round. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw. It's tough. It's a tough one.
That's and away at Leicester.
Yeah, I saw. It's tough.
Yeah. Um,
It's definitely not the. That's probably the second worst we could have gotten,
I
other than
mean,
Man
if we got a
City.
derby, yeah.
Like that's the
Um,
hardest one.
Chelsea. I don't know. The only reason I wouldn't want to play Chelsea in the cup is we haven't played Tomas Tuchel yet.
Yeah.
So I'd rather see what he's like in the league because I think we can actually have a go at winning the FA Cup this
Yeah,
year.
me too.
Yeah. And then, the other draws are Everton. They're going to be hosting City next round.
Well, that's a pretty good game.
Yeah. Bournemouth hosts Southampton. That's honestly, that'll be a decent game, I think.
Yeah. I
Because
was yeah.
Southampton's been inconsistent recently. I mean, in the Prem, they've kind of slipped up the past couple of
Yeah.
games. And then Leicester hosts us, like I said. And then the last one is Chelsea versus Sheffield at Stamford Bridge.
They got a lucky draw.
Yeah, they
Even
did.
though they did struggle to beat them just in the Premier League 2-1 the other week.
Yeah, and then they needed
a penalty.
Yeah, and then this round against Barnsley, they only won 1-0 on a offside goal, but there's
Yeah.
no VAR at the Barnsley ground.
An offside
Yeah,
goal and
okay.
missed chances. Yeah.
I mentioned this in the earlier rounds. I brought this up when I was talking to James and Evan. But I thought they didn't have VAR in the FA Cup until it got to like the latter stages where it's like all Premier League grounds or they'd be hosting at neutral venues or something like that. So that it would be even across the board. Because I think that's the only fair way to have it. Like,
yeah,
in our game and the Everton game, there was VAR in those games because they had it at the grounds. Like, I think for the competition, they should have it as each team plays under the same thing. And I could see maybe not having it every single round, but I think every round where there's going to be a match that they don't have the facilities for VAR, then no games that round.
Yeah, you can't. It shouldn't be some have, some don't. That's so dumb, honestly.
Yeah, or because there's no fans anywhere. Move it to a neutral venue. I mean, there's a bunch of Premier League clubs that are out and they're not playing right now. There's no fans or anything either.
Yeah.
Wembley could host the odd game or two each round that needs that. Like, there's definitely ways around it, but I just think that's just such a weird way to have it.
Yeah, it's stupid.
Yeah, like United last round, they could have got a goal called back from VAR. Chelsea advanced because they didn't have VAR at that ground and they scored a goal which should have and would have been called back. It's like it's not a fair playing ground, really.
No, not at all.
Yeah. I don't like that. I think that's gonna have to get changed eventually.
Yeah, me neither. Me too. Yeah. And Chelsea's they're just scraping by. They're barely beating Sheffield United. They're barely beating Barnsley. And they had a good lineup. They had like Pulisic, Ziyech, Abraham, Conte. Like they had good players out there.
Yeah. And I mean, like, to their defense, I mean, it's going to take them a little bit of time to gel with what Tomas Tuchel wants them to do.
Yeah, especially with no Thiago Silva.
Yeah, and the signings that Lampard made aren't gelling, and now Tuchel has to try to get them back into form. And he didn't buy anyone either, which I think they could have definitely done with some reinforcements. But the thing is, they spent so much in the summer, so like.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, I wonder if he's going to do anything in the summer.
I think he has to.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. Oh, and really the other big talking point from this week in English football, Mike Dean, over the weekend in the West Ham game, sent Tomas Soucek off. It got rescinded later, so
Yeah, like it was
Yeah,
definitely a
so
terror. Like I was watching it and I honestly couldn't believe that he gave him a red card. Like, especially after watching it, even the commentators were like, "How the heck are you taking the song? It's clearly
yeah,
not a red." And I was shocked it's a red, and that sucks. There was only a minute left anyway, and it got rescinded.
yeah,
Like so, like why the fuck are people sending him death threats? I like
and it didn't change the course of the game, did it?
no, there was like it was a
No.
90th minute.
Yeah, you know, fucking everyone probably picked up Soucek on fantasy
Yeah,
that
I
week
mean
because
there
he's
was a
getting
yeah.
really good form, and then he got like the minus points for red card, and they're like,
Yeah.
fucking Mike
Literally.
Dean.
And like they did have a free kick like when he got sent off that I mean, it was in a position where they were going to cross it. So he is a big player to cross to, but still, I mean, after that kick it was over. Game got ended. So, I mean, it
Yeah,
got rescinded,
and
so it's not a big deal.
yeah, and like regardless of the decision that the referee makes, there's no reason to do
Yeah,
that.
no, yeah, he can make it worse. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like
And it's Mike
it's
Dean. He's been doing this forever.
yeah, like and also it's football. Like as much as we all love it and care about it and take it seriously, it doesn't need to be taken that
Yeah,
seriously. You know
true.
what I mean? Like we don't need to be
And then
saying
yeah,
Mike
and then,
Dean,
yeah,
like I'm gonna kill you and your family because you
literally. And
sent
another thing
Suchek
is,
off with 30 seconds
yeah.
left.
And another thing is, no one knows what the VAR were telling him in his ear. They clearly told him to look at it, so they couldn't
Yeah,
decide first of all. And they might have said like, "We think that there's no clear like it has to be red."
and yeah, and one of the things that I feel like makes VAR make some questionable decisions a lot is they kind of look to judge like intent.
Yeah,
And
and yeah,
I think especially when it gets put in slow-mo, like and then slow mode again and again and again, it's so hard to judge intent because you'll see the player like as he's moving glance over and you're like, oh, they saw that guy. And then they make contact with him, but it's like they're already moving that way. Like
yeah,
they literally saw him at the last second and they were probably trying to pull back from making any contact, but
yeah,
just couldn't do it in time. Like that's like remember Nani when he got sent off in the Champions League when we were
yeah,
playing Madrid?
yeah.
It was like I see why the red card was given. Yeah, not
And
the
they
right decision.
no,
Like
yeah, and they didn't even have VAR.
yeah,
That
but
was terrible. Yeah. Oh, that was
yeah,
the worst actually.
yeah. And Mike Dean, like he gives a lot of red cards compared to other refs. Like I think I saw some stack around that he's given more than any other Premier League ref, or
Really?
something. Or I think like any active Premier League ref. But
Yeah.
um, other than him, who else has been
Oh,
refing in the
like you
Premier
mean
League for
like
that long?
ever? Oh, I thought you meant this season.
No, I think active
Oh,
Premier League refs. Like other than him, none of them have been
yeah,
refereeing
no,
that long. Like we used
he's
to have
definitely got
Howard Webb, who
yeah, he's
was there
definitely
forever,
gonna have
but
the most. Yeah,
yeah, like I feel like Mike Dean is almost becoming like new Howard Webb. He's like that
yeah,
referee where you tune into the United game and you go, "Oh, Mike Dean's officiating." Like
yeah,
half of the games you turn, you're like, "All right, I recognize that guy, but I don't know
yeah,
who he is."
yeah,
Yeah, um, yeah. Soucek came out and defended Mike Dean and said that this is like disgusting that Mike Dean and his family are having to deal with this,
yeah. I
which
don't care if he made
was
the wrong decision. I still want him to ref. He's clearly a good ref.
yeah, and like wrong calls are gonna get made. It's a game.
I
Like
know. Yeah,
wrong calls are gonna get made all the time, and sometimes they'll be in favor of your team. Sometimes they'll
yeah,
be against your team.
exactly.
Like everyone thinks United get um, half their goals from free penalties that are like not even fouls, according to every other fan on like Instagram and Twitter, apparently. But yeah, like there's going to be questionable decisions made all the time, and they go both ways. Over time, it'll even out. You know, no need to go attacking a person like personally, like attacking that actual person's character, not like fucking terrible call ref, like
I
Mike
know.
Dean. You and your family better sleep with one eye open tonight. Like
Yeah,
that's fucking
and literally in
horrific.
the 90th minute, like
Yeah.
so
No.
it wasn't gonna change anything.
Yeah. And Yeah, he said he was going to take some time off, but
I'm sure they needed him pretty bad.
yeah. And after Soucek apologized, and I think a lot of other people were saying, basically condemning the abuse that he was getting from fans.
Yeah.
Um, I think, yeah, I think that's kind of what he needed. He needed to see that the league and players and everyone, like, they're behind him too, you know?
Yeah, no, for sure. He shouldn't be feeling like down about that.
Yeah. Um, so yeah, who do you think's gonna win the cup? No,
I mean,
obviously we both want to say United,
yeah, I
but
mean, I think Man City still. I think they're gonna win
yeah,
everything.
I think Man City, but this round is a tricky fixture for City.
Yeah.
I mean, they're playing Everton, who are in good form. City are still in the Champions League, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So they're going to be playing midweek games from now until March, which is when the next FA Cup game is. Basically, Everton won't be doing that. I think they might have to rotate a little bit. I think Everton might be able to beat City, and if Everton beat Manchester City next round, I think United are going to win it.
Yeah, I was saying
But
the same thing.
then if City win next round, then I think City are going to win it.
Yeah, I think City will beat
Yeah,
Everton
like
comfortably, honestly.
yeah. In all honesty, City are my favorites, but something I can see them slipping up at Everton.
I hope so. Yeah, I could
Yeah.
definitely hope so. I
So,
mean,
and if
it's a
that
good.
happens, I
Yeah,
think we move
yeah.
into the
We
front
should. Yeah,
pole
for
position
sure.
for that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I honestly could see Man City winning the Premier League, the Champions League, and the FA Cup.
Yeah, they could definitely do trouble.
They look so dominant.
Yeah. I mean, Bayern, I think, is still the toughest test in
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Champions League. Just like that team, everyone is so good. And some of those players come through or break through out of nowhere. Like Davies, who thought? Alfonso
I
Davies.
know. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
All right, so then you want to put out some predictions for this weekend's bigger games and then wrap it up?
yeah. Sure.
All right, so we got Leicester play Liverpool, City play Tottenham. Those are two pretty big games. And then, we'll put the main United West Brom in there
Yeah,
because for us, United game is always a big game. And then Arsenal Leeds could be an interesting one.
yeah. It's a good game.
Yeah. So Leicester versus Liverpool. Who do you think is going to come out on top there?
That's a good game for sure. I am gonna take Liverpool to win though. I mean, I don't think it's gonna be anything super convincing, but I just think that they're gonna be angry about their form and they're gonna want to get back to winning ways. And they still have Salah and Mane. I think they're gonna come back this weekend and get a win.
Yeah. I think Leicester's going to come out on top there. At least grab points. I think it'll be
Okay.
2-1.
Okay.
Vardy's back. Madison's performing really well as of late.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Liverpool, obviously, the injuries to their back line, but they also, last game out against City, didn't look solid at all in the back, even
Yeah.
with the new signings that they made.
All right.
Yeah, and then the other game is Man City Tottenham that day.
Yeah, that's a good game as well. For this one, I honestly, I'm gonna go 3-0 Man City. I don't think that Tottenham are gonna even score. I think that Man City are gonna completely dominate them.
Um, I think it's going to be 3-1. I think Harry Kane and Sunback, them two on the field, I just kind of got to give Tottenham at least one goal,
Okay,
you know?
fair.
And I was going to say 4-1, but Mourinho sets up a little bit more defensively than a Jurgen Klopp team, so I think it's going to be a little bit harder for them to break
Especially
down.
against yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think they'll only get 3 past them. So yeah, City winning 3-1 to Tottenham.
Okay.
And West Brom versus Man United. I mean, I think we need to win this one.
Yeah, we do.
Like we should win this one, and we need to. If we don't win this one, give City the fucking title right now. You might as
Yeah, I
well.
know.
Yeah, no, this is a game where we can't drop points. We need to win, and I think we're gonna come out and win 4-0.
Yeah, I'm gonna
And
say
I think it's
3-0
gonna
as
be,
well.
yeah, I think it's gonna be kind of a not a statement win because we're not really. I don't think we're gonna be up there for the league title, but kind of saying like, yeah, no, we do belong up here. You know,
Yeah.
it
We
hasn't
need to
really been a
we
fluke. We can,
we cannot drop points in this game.
yeah. And then Arsenal leads the other game.
Good game.
That's an exciting game. I think this one's going to be a draw 3-3.
Wow.
Yeah, because Leeds, we saw it against them. They just defensively, they're really open because they press so much. So they'll get caught out pretty often. I think, yeah. And then, so that's a easy way for Arsenal to
Yeah.
get some goals.
Yeah, I could
And
actually
then
I can see it.
Arsenal, not great for them. Their
Yeah.
defense is one of the worst parts of that team. I mean, and yeah, also Leeds, they're fun to watch. Patrick Bamford, Rafinha, like they can
Oh my
score
God,
goals. They can,
Rafinha he's honestly a world-class player.
yeah. So I think,
Yeah.
3-3 Leeds and Arsenal.
All right. I could definitely see it being high scoring as well. I'm actually gonna take Leeds 3-1 actually. The last 2 games they won, they just looked so good. They like
Yeah.
Rafinha guy, man, he's gonna go somewhere. He is such a good player.
I saw
Did you see the
Liverpool
move he did against Cahill? Did you see that?
Yeah.
The Burba spin?
Yeah.
Oh, oh my God. He does shit like that all game.
Yeah, he's fun to watch.
He's so fun to
Yeah.
watch.
Leeds are a really fun team to watch, honestly. Like coming back after 16 years out of the Premier League, they haven't disappointed. They're
No, not at all. They're one of the most fun teams to watch for sure.
yeah. Yeah, so that covers the weekend's games, I guess. So I guess that's that.
Alrighty.
Yeah, thanks guys for listening. That was episode 3 of the Footy Philosopher podcast. I'm Jake Fellows, and that was
You're Jake Fellows.
No, I'm not. Yeah, I'm Keith Forgan. You're Jake Fellows. And follow, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.
That was a really good